actually goes further back in the early 2000s from unfortunately, I think a novel that I might have lost, but it's called The Black Thorn. And the character wasn't female at the time, it was Vlad. And, of course, Vlad Tepes, and he was on a hunger strike. And he had a finch as his pet. And, but, it just didn't quite, it was more of one of those novels, just practicing learning the craft. And still wish I could find it. But it was in the back of my mind when I saw your anthology call, and so I just went with it, and of course this particular the character became female, and it just feels right, so again it's the same idea where this bitch is tempting her and she's trying to resist, and so it's kind of hard to describe it without really giving it away, though, Todd. I don't know how to go about it. Like you say, it's very unique. I had this vision just hit me about a vampire and hunger strike. And how would they go about it? And then this Finch character just came out of nowhere, and it was just a terror throughout the novel, just tempting, killing people, trying to, or not quite kill them, just getting that scent of blood out there, just tempting the character Vlad. And so this is where this came from. Like I said to you a while ago, I'm definitely going to, this story will lead, probably be the first chapter of in some way, a first chapter into a book. It's going to definitely be a book. I just got to get my other stuff done first. But it's in the back of my mind, Todd. It's bugging me. I had if you're talking about the first draft was done, I honestly would probably be, less than 2 hours. I'd say less than 2 hours. Probably more of an hour. Time does fly by, but the average draft like this, when I look at the page count, a little over an hour. And how many drafts? Oh, geez. I'm very, very, very fussy. I'm never happy with the end result. But, there's always, I'm sure you're the same way. I think all writers are like that, but eventually you just got to let it go. So I would say I probably did about 7 or 8 drafts on it. And then we did a couple ourselves, so almost 10. I want to be a vampire. And this, it's kind of cool to have a pet like, you know what I'm saying. It's an interesting character in itself, Finch is, right? So I think the character Finch really makes the story, in my opinion. The main character seems like taking a back seat at times when it comes to Finch. It was the same way with the original novel. I could totally dig being in that universe. Yeah. Well, the book I just went up tonight, Big Cranky, Fall into Darkness, book 1. I got actually 5 total books pretty much written, but I can be very prolific like that. All I do is just, on my days off, I write. So, but Mothman Publishing came about because my experience with small press just wasn't very good. It got messy at the end. And I did try to, I'm not going to go out and air dirty laundry again because it just blew up my face. So I was trying to warn people, and I somehow became the villain. So, and then people saw that I was actually telling the truth, and they apologized. But I'm just not going to go there again. I'll just say my experience was really bad at the end. Good at first, but at the end it just not cool. There was a lot of dishonesty at the end of it. So I said, it was crashing and burning regardless. There was just some very dishonesty at the end. From one part, there was 2 partners. One partner was great. The other one just changed a lot, I guess, due to their health issues, from what I'm being told. It's just very dishonest. And I just kind of was just like, you know what? I just can't do this again, go through the small press. I felt kind of tied, because there's only so much you can do once you're under contract, right? But now, having my own publishing, I can do whatever I want, Todd. I have all this freedom, and I really like the end result of the new version of Big Cranky. 200 more pages, and those have read it, have loved it. I even got a good plug from an actual best-selling author, which really I needed, Todd, because I was questioning, my worth as a writer. I just felt like I was down at one point, but I didn't throw in the towel. I didn't give up, and I'm feeling really good right now. It's coming together. It's a lot of responsibility, though, to anybody who wants to go into self-publishing, but it's very rewarding once you start settling down, once you get a lot of the main information, or the main things you need to know. The rest of it just kind of comes here and there. Doors start to open, I guess. So that's why I went to Mothman Publishing, and it's working out so far. We'll see how sales and that go. And I'm doing Amazon ads right away. From what I understand, that's really the only way you're going to get anywhere on Amazon these days. It's one of those pay-to-play type sites now. It's unfortunate. It's those days of just putting a book up and telling your friends and that there, and just the word spreading. Probably still works if you got a big fan base and that there, but no. It's, from my research, from what other authors have been around for a while are saying, it's pretty much a pay-to-play. So, yeah. I don't know. I kind of rambled there, Todd. Favorite bird? I like the crow. You probably expect me to say a finch. But no, I love crows. I've always loved them since I was a kid. I'd always go in the backwoods there and just kind of watch them above me there, and I'd read a book. And I'm not even lying. That's what I would do. So, okay. Least favorite type of organism? I would say, God, when a woodpecker starts pecking, it just drives me nuts. That's the first thought that came to me. But I wouldn't say I absolutely hate them, but I don't like their pecking. It annoys I'm a very quiet person, so. And still of the morning when I was up late at night and trying to sleep in, there always seems to be a woodpecker outside the window just pecking away. So that's the only thing I can think of that comes to mind, Todd. I like flying. I would say food I couldn't leave. I love my peanut butter. It's a kind of a Canadian thing, I suppose. A lot of times when I say peanut butter, people are like, what? So, at least when I was in Japan years ago, people were like, what? Peanut butter? What is that? So, I love my peanut butter. That's what comes to mind. Pretty simple guy, Todd. Shout. Okay, well, I would like to give a shout to Franklin Lee Wales, who was the guy that got me into this game. And Chris Philbrook, who was the author, who took it a chance. Both of them actually attached their names to me. They're both authors. And give me blurbs for my book in there. Because it's risky attaching your name to somebody that's just putting themselves out there, right? But so I'll give those shout out to those two guys. I do the usual thing, my parents and that there, but I've done it many times. They know I love them. So, I do it all the time. I don't want to keep on saying the same thing every interview, right? Because I'm asked similar questions. So, yeah. Anything else? I got all kinds of time, man.